Hey and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about how the GoPro Hero 9 performs in low light conditions. I've been using the GoPro Hero line for a long time now and the cameras have never really performed too well in low light conditions. So today I've taken my Hero 9 out in nighttime and also in the evenings when there's not that much light. And I've put together some footage so that you guys can see how it performs in low light conditions. So this first sequence I filmed in town and I shot some of the illumination at night. I filmed this with the following settings, and the main thing that I noticed is that the hypersmooth or the stabilization really doesn't work in low light conditions. It struggles a lot, and as you can see in this video there's a lot of motion blur and unstable parts, which makes it very difficult to use in low light conditions. Also, a lot of the blacks are crushed, and I think overall the GoPro 9 does better in low light conditions compared to the previous models, but there's still a long way to go when you compare it with the cameras such as the Sony a7 III, which does excellently in low light conditions. And although I wouldn't recommend buying GoPro Hero 9 just for the low light shooting, I think it does a decent job when you need it, and that's the only camera you have at night. So the settings that I would be using when you're filming in low light conditions is definitely you want to have your frame rate at 24 or 30 frames per second. If you have the frame rate higher at 60 or 120, it's not going to capture enough light for your video. So at night time, always have your frame rate lower than 30, I would recommend. Also the ISO, you want to increase the ISO compared to daytime, so maybe put it at 400 or 800. I wouldn't go too much higher to 1600 because that's going to make the video look too grainy. But if there is no other light source, then maybe 1600 is the maximum I would go. So I tried out the Hero 9 at nighttime at my local pier where there's a bunch of sharks underneath some floodlights. So as you can see in this footage, I put the camera into the water. The problem about underwater is that there's even less light than above water, so the footage here looks very grainy at 1600 ISO. And also there's this flickering of the streetlights, which makes the footage not usable in my opinion. So I think if you are going to be filming underwater with the GoPro, you need an extra light source like an underwater torch to light up your subject. Overall, for the GoPro Hero 9 in low light, I feel like it's a lot better than the previous models, but I wouldn't buy the camera solely for the reason of trying to film in the evening or night conditions. I think it's usable if you already have the GoPro on you, but I wouldn't go out of my way to upgrade just for this. The great thing about the GoPro is that it's so small that you can always carry it around with you, so in those cases I think it's definitely usable at night just to keep in your pocket. And if you stick to the settings that I introduced to you in this video, I think the footage that you'll get will look pretty good. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video, so thank you for watching, and please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already.